You know, every so often I see a movie so impressive that you just want to tell everybody. It was 1994 when I saw Pulp Fiction. It was so exciting and different. At that time, I had no idea what I was even looking at. I didn't go to see movies like that. It just blew me away, and I couldn't tell enough people about it. Fast forward 28 years, I get an email from a listener. Thanks, Vince. Check out RRR. Without skipping a beat, I immediately thought he was talking about VFW, a great horror movie from 2019 starring Stephen Lang. But I took a second and I read the email again. RRR. I had no idea what he was talking about. A quick Google check. And wow, this movie is on fire. I've never heard of it. Almost immediately, I hit play. And what came after? One of the most exciting movies I have ever seen. I've never seen anybody pronounce it. I believe it's just RRR. Lives of two real-life Indian revolutionaries. This movie is completely fictitious, and I love it. About two fellas that actually never knew each other, but we're going to throw them in a film anyway. What a fantastic idea. It's like Ben Franklin and Abraham Lincoln in the same movie. I could talk all day. Let's hear what the other guys thought of this great film. Let's get to it. The review of RRR on Movie Chatter. From a remote location in Hyderabad, India, it's Movie Chatter Podcast. Hyderabad. That's where this is, Bill. Or are you saying it's somewhere else?
Well, we were talking about this isn't a Bollywood. It's
Tollywood. Tollywood.
Yeah, and there's actually like 12 different movie regions in India.
Okay.
Two of them, the cities begin with a T, so they call it Tollywood.
Right.
And this is a Tollywood one. And what this one is best at is this action that you see here, this over-the-top cinematography that is reminiscent a little bit, people say, of 300, where it's like fast and then slow.
Oh,
at the
yeah,
end.
right.
You know, they're about to punch you, they punch you, and then it slows down as it goes through the punch.
Can you pronounce that?
Well, I don't know how it is in Indian, but Telugu, it looks like. Telugu.
Yeah. That's the language. I heard that that's...
Oh, the language.
It's that the Tollywood is a segment of the Indian cinema dedicated to production of motion pictures in the Telugu language.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
I don't know all these languages.
Okay.
But that's also, and then Bengali language. That's another Bengali cinema. It's also referred to as Tollywood. So that's a
okay. And I know it's mainstream, and right now politically
based in
the
West
Hindus.
Bengal.
The Hindus are a little bit stronger politically, and this is I believe that's a Hindu.
Hindi.
Hindi.
Yeah, Hindi. I apologize for
We don't
knowing.
we don't know a lot about.
We know
Hindi.
that we enjoy movies.
Yeah, that's
the universal language that we are all speaking here, and thankfully it was in subtitles.
Well, I want to see more like this movie.
Oh my gosh,
this is amazing.
Yeah.
Now, right now, this is
I want to
third
learn
highest
more.
grossing of this year globally out of India, and of course, it's the number one in India.
Okay, is it really?
But I had to.
I did not know.
I had to type it RR into Netflix to have it even brought up.
Right. If you typed RRR a couple years ago, you would have got rate of return, a like home mortgage term
Okay.
about
Okay.
if you're, yeah, that's what RRR comes up, a couple years ago.
Well, I guess it's probably because it's not an English language movie. I mean, they're pumping American, English language stuff to us.
I couldn't believe it. It's when you watch these things, and first of all, they'll speak English when the British officers who are like Nazis in this movie.
Oh yeah,
Nazis.
Nazis.
Very good to explain.
Colonialists.
Yeah.
They make great villains.
Oh man,
They're great villains.
You hate them, but they speak English, and in the movie
Colonizers.
they play it in English, but the subtitles keep going, and I didn't even notice the subtitles after a while. You know how that is,
Yeah, for some reason it was very doable with subtitles.
Because you're reading Ram and Beam's face so well.
And that's a very good point. And there's not a lot of dialogue in many of the scenes.
No.
A lot of the big action scenes, obviously there's no dialogue when
Right.
they're fighting a lion or a tiger. A tiger or a ligal.
Yeah. Oh, that was a great scene. Yeah, within 20 minutes of this movie,
Oh
you
my gosh.
hate the British because
the British.
they've killed a mother
In 5 minutes, you hate
in
them.
front of a daughter.
I think that woman, lives.
Oh, right. They just hit her with a stick.
She does actually. She actually lives.
Okay.
In the,
That's
in the end of the
right.
movie.
Okay.
Yeah, but
there's a little bit of a happy ending
Yeah.
there. Okay.
The first time I watched
right.
it with Anne, we watched it and saw that scene, and she was like, "I'm out." I mean, there's some brutal parts when you take a root of a tree and crack a woman across the face with it. It's pretty brutal.
But I mean, that's your, watch a movie, give it 10, 15 minutes, see if you want to watch it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to hook you.
Well, yeah.
And then going directly into arrest that man.
Yes, that second scene was
That was
just-
one of my favorites right there. Ram arrests the man with all the protesters.
Oh
that
my
was,
gosh. In a field of 1,000 or more people, he's
and-
gonna just go
Yeah. And by the way, that wasn't CG. Those were all actors.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I think they do a lot of wire work.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a lot of wire work,
Oh, right.
as they say in there. So you see that there's a lot of. But I mean, I love it.
But I
love
mean,
it. You
like
can-
the animals, of course, you were talking about the tigers. And
Oh,
that.
yeah, that's all CG.
That's CG.
Sure.
Right in the beginning, they say no animals or snakes were hurt.
yeah, exactly. And the CG's mediocre, but I thought it worked awesome.
It didn't
distract you at all.
because the movie is
thought it
so
was really good.
It's so over the top that
Yeah,
you know
right. You knew obviously a giant cage full of animals isn't going to leap out. It's CGI. I mean,
Right.
when you
Oh, yeah.
see
Yeah, that one.
30 giant animals all leaping out of a cage at once,
And you just
but it doesn't distract you.
you want to enjoy this so much. You'll accept everything. There's no point at which you go, oh, that wouldn't happen or something like that. I mean,
Right.
It's crazy shit, and you just love it.
I think that this movie is like a spectacle in the best way, a theatrical blockbuster movie spectacle, like we used to make more of these, in this country.
right.
It's like an old fashioned, big time, big action, great. It's not acting first. It's like story and
It's like they combined everything.
Yeah.
Every genre, except for really like horror, but everything is just jammed into one
I
blender.
think back to Raiders of the Lost Ark. That
Okay.
was well edited and
Sure.
fast paced and
Okay.
had good music, and at the time, good
Yeah.
cinema.
How does this look on your big old TV? Probably.
So it's in 4K at Atmos sound 5.1, and
It's amazing.
it is so gorgeous right from the first scene.
I mean, even on this mediocre TV that we're watching, it's behind us, and the focus is ridiculous. You can see every type of fabric that they're wearing.
Ooh, yeah.
You can see like every weave.
It's beautifully.
It's hard
filmed.
to make. It's hard to make
Right there.
that good of a focus.
Right
okay, without it looking like video. You know what I mean?
Oh,
so it looks
okay.
like film, meaning they have fantastic natural lighting. Also,
Okay.
the
okay.
lighting is that's what I've watching it a few times, the lighting is it's like next level to me.
Yeah. The cinematography in here is so like artistic in an action way.
Right.
For example, there's a scene where a burning tire is going across the screen.
Oh, yeah.
And in the middle of it,
Ram
you
is in
see
there.
the other guy walking across.
Yeah.
Right? Everything is so well filmed. It's so beautiful.
The framing is very deliberate that way. And
Even right there. I mean,
what do you
love
see?
that
Yeah,
there was like, some prison bars or whatever.
Oh, okay.
And their camera positioning in here, I don't know. I'm sure if I looked at it, multiple times, I would find that they're copying the greats or whatever.
It seems like very old school, deliberate, the kind of stuff that you really notice.
Yeah.
Like you said, all those good framing where somebody's in the distance and you're seeing through that. Very purposeful. They're doing that just so to forward the story. Generally, it's not for just, for looks.
Right.
And this was done by the Spielberg of India, I guess. I found out. Rajamouli.
SS
Yep.
Rajamouli.
And in fact, that's how it got its name, RRR. It was a working title, and they all have R in their name. So Ram, and Rajamouli.
Oh.
And then they just said, that sounds kind of cool. And so they actually then figured out, Rise, Revolt, and what was it? Rise, Roar, Revolt. And then they translated that into like 12 different Indian languages that all started with R.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So you don't hear anybody, like I said, I haven't heard anybody pronounce it. It's not like...
No, it's not.
Not like in the old days where a trailer would go, where they would...
They're just letters. It's not a word.
Right, I know, but you could be...
Oh.
You don't know what it could be.
Oh, yeah, I guess, right. Before you see the story where they actually, Actually, no. Even in the poster, it has Rise, Roar, Revolt on the R's.
Okay.
So I guess if you looked closely, you'd know what they intended.
Right, okay.
On there. But...
So I could go on and on about this movie. It was so fun. You talk about setting it up in the first 20 minutes. In the first 20 minutes, you hate the British for what they did.
Yeah.
They take a little girl, the head governess. She says, "Oh, she would look good on my mantle." And then the governor says, "Don't." They're about to kill the mother who's trying to stop them from taking the daughter. Mm-hmm. And it says, don't you know how much those bullets cost?
Yeah. Right. Love that. They go back to that a couple of times.
Right? That's the over-the-top craziness of that, right?
You just hate them. Oh, and then they open up with a scene from, he's covering himself with blood so that I guess he could attract a...
He was trying to. He was not
tiger.
He was not trying to attract the tiger. That was a mistake. I think he was trying to attract a wolf.
Oh.
And he got a tiger instead.
I see.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was he doing with that animal? Do we know?
No.
Not really pertinent to the.
It's
situation?
just a spectacle.
Okay.
To me, this was like, the first time you got like the next PlayStation. Like it. It seemed so vivid, like I was getting like a next generation game. Like, whoa, I didn't know you could make things look this good.
I loved, a scene that is that way, or many of them, would be when they did sort of their Matrix thing, when, say, somebody would do a slow motion jump.
Yeah.
And those were super crystal clear. Generally the guys would have like one knee out and they'd be posed holding a stick or something like that, flying through the air at one another with just perfect framing, and those looked gorgeous.
Right. I hope this gets like some type of award.
Probably.
Well, why isn't it like Netflix has the top movies?
It was already. This has been out since May. It was.
Okay.
When
we just missed it.
When Vince told me about it, I looked it up, and it was like number 5 in the USA.
Okay. All right.
So it's high up there. It keeps on bouncing back and forth, but
Well, if you dig it up. You got to go into search, type RRR, and it'll come up.
I thought the story itself
Amazing.
was terrific. I thought that the mystery of Ram, the policeman's intentions, that they kept secret for very, very long.
Right.
I mean, it's a 3-hour movie. You really don't figure out about his real intentions until
That's why we
2
don't want to
hours
say
in.
it here.
Right, you don't. No, but his desire to excel as a policeman, it's very conflicting. You say, why would he do that? Why would he be so brutal to people that are like himself? And that to me was, really made this story interesting. And besides the spectacle of it, I was really into the story of it. The story of these two guys becoming friends and all of that was.
How'd you like that
really,
bromance?
Yeah,
I like the whole.
I loved it.
The friendship montage was like the best part
absolutely,
ever.
Absolutely,
He's doing squats with him. He's got him on his
on his shoulder.
One guy's riding a horse. The other guy's on a motorcycle.
Oh, that was cool.
Kind of dueling back and forth.
Yeah, and it just worked. You accepted it.
You
and
did.
it's also you're accepting it because this is really something from India. This is again the number one movie out there, one of the highest grossing movies in India. This is their Avatar.
Wow.
This is the third most expensive movie ever made in India.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
So,
like I said, it took 300 days of shooting, which
that's a lot of shooting.
I didn't really know what was average, but that's crazy.
It's like 10 months.
Well, another interesting thing, these are the two leading actors in India.
Did not know
but
that
they
either.
have never been in a movie together. So this would be like, I don't know, who would be like Tom Cruise, I guess would be our
And
number.
DiCaprio.
And DiCaprio together in a movie. Exactly.
Have they ever been in a movie?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's
There you
probably
go. That's a good example, right?
right.
Okay.
I'm gonna
interesting.
say that Ram Charan is so
Handsome?
good looking
He
that
is. He's insanely
that
good looking.
after this, there's no doubt that is Kevin Feige or some big producer going, we need this person in a U.S. film.
I
Marvel
wonder.
gives
A
him
Marvel film.
I'd
gives
love
him
it. I'd
gives
love
him
that.
5 million, 10 million,
To make him
50
some
million.
type of Indian captain,
Superhero.
Captain India.
Well, look at Ms. Marvel. That's all Pakistani, right?
Love that.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, they're
First one. First Muslim superhero in the
I
Marvel
love
world.
it. I love it.
That's a great show. Yeah.
It is fun.
I love that guy. His
on
mustache
Disney, of course.
is like
epic.
over the top fantastic. His hair, Dave, how much would you give for that guy Ram's hair?
50,000.
Oh my God, at least 50,000. I mean, it's even
50,000.
better. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's even better than Mike Schultz's hair.
Oh, yeah,
Mike's
that-
got some amazing hair, but this guy
Nothing can
has
compare.
got even better hair.
all
It
right.
is. It is
I don't-
black. It's like Fanta black.
Banta Black. They're so I love these guys. They are so beautiful, and the women also in here. Just some really good acting. Not a huge part of the movie, but the one British woman,
Who's the young lady?
Jennifer, is the character name, played by Olivia Morris. Apparently
Yeah,
this
and
is
they've got kind of a cute little romance. I mean, he
They
can't
do.
speak English, and yet
That-
they still are dating.
she-
That
from
is
anything?
the funniest thing. No, actually, it says that this is really her first leading role in a feature. Was this movie?
Oh, that should skyrocket her
Yeah.
somewhere. I'm telling you, I'm watching her right
so
now.
she did, just some series type work.
Okay.
But that was hilarious. I loved it. But they would have a conversation, and one would be going on and on and on, and then the other person would say, "I can't understand anything you're saying," in their own language, and then the other one would say that, and but yet they still, had a good time together.
Yeah, he thought her name was, don't call me madam, my name is Jenny.
Yes.
Don't call me madam, my name is Jenny.
It's
And
a
he kept repeating-
very long
She
name.
has a very long name. No, you idiot.
It's like
yeah.
it's. Is it like in you're being it's so much joy on the screen.
It's
Yes.
like inspirational.
It feels like you can
Yes.
feel it going into your bloodstream.
yes. You know,
Absolutely.
I
It's
have
inspiring.
a superhero feeling throughout this whole movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Where he faces a tiger or he faces, outstanding odds, and yet he's going to do it.
I think that they are definitely superhero-esque in here. I mean, they're throwing people 20, 30 feet, so there's an element of fantasy to it.
Right.
But it doesn't. But they just intermingle that with reality. They're certainly not supposed to be, enhanced or anything like that.
Right.
But yet they're able to, have these amazing fights, pull a guy up with one arm and a rope, he's like,
Right after the train crashes.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
You do see the police officer, though, working out with punching bags and all that. There's
Sure.
one scene
Oh, that
where
was
he actually
I had that
punch-
written down as when he was pissed off when he got they didn't pick him
oh yeah,
and his fists clench and he just was looking up at the tower,
yeah,
and then he does the whole pissed off montage.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's hitting the bag and he actually just
Goes right
knocks
through
a
it.
hole right through the bag. But if you think, we've had Arnold Schwarzenegger kind of movies or the Rock movies where
Sure.
they do crazy shit.
Absolutely.
The amount
Yeah.
of smiling that they do, they seem like they're never not smiling.
except for when they're being tortured.
Oh, right.
But yeah,
Just so happy.
generally, right. It's very family orientated. Obviously, I thought it was a story of determination and family and honor and brotherhood, community. All of those things were just really, really interwoven in a way that did make you feel like just inspired watching it.
Right. And yet with violence that you couldn't, a 10-year-old, you wouldn't want your 10-year-old
No.
or younger to see this.
Gosh, no.
Way too violent.
Oh my gosh, the whipping
A lot of
scene.
blood.
The whips with that when that witch drops that.
She just happens to have a whip with nails in it.
Try this one.
Why did you try it on a piece of board?
And while he's being whipped, he's singing like what
yeah.
would be the equivalent of our national anthem.
they don't
or
actually
something.
ever.
Yeah.
They don't actually ever
Very
hit him with that. With the nail one, do they?
Oh
No,
my gosh, yes,
goes
they do.
around him.
Oh, totally.
And then as they pull it, it rips his
oh,
blood.
oh no,
his
he's
skin.
whipped with
Oh,
it
yeah,
quite
yeah,
a bit.
okay.
But I mean,
And he
it doesn't.
keeps singing.
Yeah, it doesn't do what it should have, which was like,
Kill him.
Yeah, kill
It would have
him.
been like a bandsaw.
But they do show his skin, get tearing.
Oh yeah, it's
So not for. So Anne's gonna watch it. Though, you think?
she was watching it, and I left, and there was still about an hour to go, and I am convinced
She'll
that
close
she
her
will watch-
eyes maybe at the hard parts.
Probably. I mean, but they definitely there were several scenes like that. Like, for instance, Ram is ejected from a vehicle and then slams into a tree that has a big stick coming out of it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, into his back. It's like, oh my gosh, how could you survive that? He pulls himself out of a
He's superhuman.
4-inch
Yeah.
like stick.
He's a
Oh, my
revolutionary
gosh.
hero.
We talk about at the very end of the movie, combined with great cinematography, Ram as he's revolting and roaring and rising, all of a sudden his hair is more full, and he they show an Indian hero in some poster,
Oh, okay.
and he's like looking like that.
Oh.
The pose. So I think he's supposed to then take on that nature of that famous
Or
rebel.
he becomes that legendary
Right.
revolutionary.
Right.
Maybe he is the guy that's on that flag eventually, or something like that.
Something like that.
Or
Yeah.
he will be the next one on a flag, his own flag. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, fantastic.
I mean
Holy mackerel.
the things that went on in here, to me, you talk about, it wasn't so much special effects. They were a lot of probably wires and all that, but it's all practical. For example, they had that rope scene where they're rescuing the boy about to
Yes.
get burned by the oil because
Oil
of the
fire.
train.
Right.
And that reminded me of 007, the last movie, where he grabs onto a cable somehow.
Oh, right. Jumps off the bridge.
And the motorcycle scene.
Right, so
that was,
really good stunt.
And that was just like one of many in this movie.
Absolutely. Yeah, they definitely had those practical, although I don't know, that I don't think was practical. Somehow that was, in a stage somehow.
Okay, I guess what I mean by that is while it might have been staged, it wasn't CG.
Excellent. Yes, I agree with you there. Yep, absolutely. And that did make a difference. And I like that. I do. I mean, even though there was that wire work and that kind of, to me, it reminds me of, old kung fu movies. Just tons of that, where people are jumping and they're able to jump 20 feet and kick or something like that. I love it. It's practical, like you say. So you're getting the actual actor doing it rather than a Marvel movie where, he jumps and it immediately cuts to a CGI version.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Fun dancing scene.
Oh,
here.
yeah.
Now, people say, well, I'm not going to watch an Indian movie because it's all Bollywood dancing, right?
Yeah. You got to have a couple of those in here.
I think maybe so it's 3 hours. I think 1 hour, about 45 minutes into it, they had
the big scene.
Great dance competition.
Yes.
They're pulling the suspenders.
Yeah. Nacho, nacho, nacho. I guess nacho means dance.
Right.
Because that's what they kept saying. I was like, nacho,
right.
nacho,
So the
nacho.
British guy, he's like the bully. He goes,
Yeah.
well, you can't, you
can't
brown people can't do the flamingo, and he does this and that. And
just
then,
the blatant racism of the villains. It was like, that was funny. I mean, just the way that they did not couch it in any sort of subtlety. It was just like, you brown, and then they would cut to many of the native people just
serving them.
Yeah, looking like this is what we have to deal with. Yeah, awful.
But 1920, right?
Oh yeah.
And then it was that silver platter as it kind of rolled, and it kept rolling.
You knew
and then
something was
just-
going to happen.
It kept building, and then all of a sudden, Ram kicks it towards the drummer, and then he starts drumming, and they start doing this Indian dance. I've heard that it's on TikTok and all that. People are doing this dance now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, trying to imitate it.
It looked very strenuous.
Yeah.
I mean, you're basically hopping on one leg, and the other leg is kind of dancing around,
Kicking out.
And I
young
think you
people.
guys should try it. We are on the YouTube. So, Bill, if you could just demonstrate that for us real quick here. Sure. Okay.
Let's see. It's kind of like how I used to. Wasn't
that's
it
really good, Bill?
Wasn't it
That was
kind
the
of
general
how?
gist of it.
Wasn't it how I used to roller skate? On one,
yeah, that's
kinda
right.
kicking my leg, but a little more slow motion.
Right, like one leg is suspending you, and the other one's doing all the action.
Right.
That's it.
Right. So it's just
Yeah,
Great-
that was
great
fan.
scene.
I love that scene. And then doesn't the movie have a dance scene at the end? The traditional trailer or title scene kind of at the end.
Right at the very end.
Yeah. Oh, Dave's kicking in the music.
well. This is the end of the movie song. It's not-
And they're all happy. It's like they're saying thank you for making this the #1 movie.
The first Indian type movie I saw was
I love the music.
the Millionaire movie. What was that called?
Slumlord Millionaire.
Slumdog Millionaire.
Slumdog.
And that had a big dance scene at the end of it.
It did.
And I didn't understand what was going on.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
Yeah, I know, but now, I was
you
younger
understand.
then.
Yeah, it's
Like, wow.
you're not familiar with the movie tradition.
I would love to see a Marvel movie where at the end of it, dead or alive, everybody is just dancing at the end of the movie.
In costume.
In costume.
Yeah.
Like taking bows, and
Yeah,
it would be great.
Just like the Guardians dance.
I actually think it would work. Maybe Thor, Love and Thunder will do something like that.
Let's see. Something about Mary at the very end. They were all singing, "Build Me a Buttercup."
Oh, right.
Oh,
right.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
they
they-
kind of went through all the...
They did, yeah. That movie
it just
was
puts you in a
unique
good
that way.
mood.
Yeah. Well, and that was a comedy, so it was fine to do it.
What about the 3 hours? I mean,
It went
this podcast is getting long, but this movie was really long. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
30 minutes.
It goes by so quick. I mean, you could certainly break it into 3 days and watch it in 3 different days.
because even
hour
like
and a half,
the slow
2
like
times.
drama parts of this movie, you can't. You're reading, so, and then it just kind of goes into the next action scene or, beating scene. Who is that?
That's Ram's girlfriend.
Wow. All right, Ram.
Man,
Beautiful women in this movie.
some beautiful Indian women.
Yeah.
So, will
Sorry.
this increase? There is, they say that, so this is like one of the top 3 Indian movies
Ever made.
globally ever.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to see the other 2. I wonder what those are.
I would too. I don't know. I mean,
Well, I think you're gonna see them. You're probably gonna
I'm gonna
look
check
them up.
Yeah, I gotta look them up and check.
Are
'em
there
out.
stories? Are many of them? This, similar to what we would like. The story, the way that they develop it, the storyline, the way the story is made.
Got to try them.
I believe one is. It is a 2-part movie. So just like Dune, we're waiting for the second part of Dune right now.
Yep.
And I think that was also by this Ramja Muli, the director.
Okay.
And that was also the other big one. And that was like a war. It's a war movie of some sort.
Okay.
So
As long as they're fun. I mean, this was just very blockbuster fun, kind of right up our alley. Just
if you
say.
look up, just look up Ram's movie filmography.
You're right.
And just watch his last movie.
Sure.
Watch the one. Just
That's a good
just
idea.
watch him.
Yeah.
Hopefully, he's not just beating people with sticks constantly. But
well, somebody can email us.
Oh, did you know that the awful Scott Buxton, the main British,
he looks like Kelsey Grammer, by the way.
his name is Ray Stevenson, and he was actually in the first Thor movie as Volstagg. He was one of Thor's like buddies.
Really?
Yeah, that's the guy that was like one of Thor's buddies. That
Well, he's got that great beard and the wide, strong body.
yeah, he's from a lot of stuff. I mean,
they're not hiding who's the villain. When all he has
actually-
to do is come on the scene, and you go, "Oh, that's a villain."
That's the bad guy.
he was actually played Punisher as well in his
Really?
own Punisher movie, Punisher
That's
Warzone.
him?
Yep, played Frank Castle.
Wow. Okay, because that beard really, to me, I'm thinking he's supposed to be. I don't know. In this movie, he looks like he's 70.
Yeah,
You know.
he's not. He's actually
So,
your exact age.
we
Dave.
haven't talked about the
Really,
great
he's my
sound.
age.
He's
God,
exact-
41.
Isn't
The
that-
sound is so well coordinated. The music, the sound. But I mean, when I'm watching it, and I'm sure in your, have you seen it downstairs?
I
in
have
yours?
not even seen it downstairs.
Oh my God!
We should watch-
This. Blows you away. I mean, it's really
It blows me away on this
Loud.
average
Yeah.
TV.
Yeah,
It's
With your good sound,
shocking
you're
how
saying,
good
Bill.
this movie
Yeah.
looks.
your amazing
It's
sound.
great sound throughout, and
Yeah.
sometimes it just knocks you back or surprises you as I don't know
Interesting.
a tiger jumps out or something.
Yeah.
But they'll follow it up with great bass and great
Okay.
sound that hits you.
I love the score of it. I mean, just is throughout it.
Oh, yeah.
really, really driving with that. I don't know, bass drum or whatever that beating of the boom. There's a lot of that in there.
All that. My
Sounds
promo here. What's coming up on Movie
Whoa,
Chatter?
that's
That's
not
not what I wanted to say. I was going to play you a little.
Oh.
That wanted. Do you want him dead or alive?
Oh yeah, that was great. Great line.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
It's so
The music
good.
was so different.
It is.
so
cool.
good.
That Indian angle sounds that we've never heard before.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so
this
ignorant
Indian
on,
rap.
on this whole.
I mean, this
genre.
review is pretty much just, we're just going.
Just us gushing.
Vince told us about this movie, and it's like, yes, God, it's so good. I'm going to watch it a lot, and it's going to go in a rotation.
Certainly the best movie we've seen this year, I would say.
No.
Okay.
All right.
It's
Top Gun.
Top Gun, Bill.
This is much better. Top Gun is much better than this. I mean, there's to
I'd
me.
say they're close.
Oh, really?
Well, certainly in the top 5.
This is really good.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, to me, I don't know. I do enjoy the American cinema that is more believable. I mean, I don't know. There's something to this that's it's very theatrical.
Right.
That is it's different in that way. So to me, that Top Gun movie was just so much better.
Right.
But this is certainly
I would
an
say
A.
it's
I would
so
say
much better.
I mean, that's.
I think that should be an upcoming episode. We're at that summer spot here. We can go best movies of the year so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
but I agree with you.
But it's up there. It's up.
Oh, it's up there.
That
top 5.
I probably watch it more. I mean, even though it's 3 hours to me, and I guess it used to be our meter of measuring stick of a movie is how much you watched it.
I can tell you that if I put on Top Gun at home and watched it, it wouldn't, I'm sorry, be as fun as watching this the second time. Just before I'm just imagining. Okay, I haven't done it because it's not out yet, but just before I came here, I just started watching this again.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm just going to watch 15 minutes. Okay, I'm just going to watch a half hour. Okay, I'm just going to watch an hour. I mean, it's like I couldn't stop watching it.
I almost
and it's the
didn't wanna
second
come.
time. And I only watched it, I don't know, about recently, within a week ago, right?
I'm watching it right now.
Yeah, we're watching. We can't help but look
It's
at
hard.
the screen.
It's hard.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's constantly interesting.
Well, to me, it's like looking at art too. So it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Like even just still shot anything, and it's great to look at.
Yeah, you compare it to Top Gun. A lot of that was, fanboy, alluding to the first Top Gun and all that stuff. And if you love that, you love the movie for that. But visually, cinematography wise, definitely I love the the jet scenes. Obviously, were amazing. Mind blowing. It was a ride. But the rest of Top Gun was a lot of just, them talking or in the bar or, fighting with each other.
Sure.
Whereas this is, 1 minute you're running away from a tiger. The next minute you go, get that guy. And he just goes into 1,000 people and fights everybody with his stick.
Yeah.
And then the next scene, it's something else incredible. I mean, every 20 minutes in this thing is a mind-blowing trip. Where
That's
I
true.
don't know about Top Gun being mind-blowing every 20 minutes.
Okay.
We'll find out when I rewatch it.
Okay. All right. I mean, I loved it. I mean, obviously, it's a great
I'm going to go
movie.
see it on Tuesday again.
I'm not trying to take away from what movies you like. I'm just saying that for me.
Yeah, how many times have you seen this? A couple times? Twice?
Twice.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a really good movie.
Yeah, it's a really, really good movie. Highly recommend it. Thanks, Vince, for the
thanks.
suggestion. I mean,
Got any other suggestions?
do you think you would have, if I wouldn't have said anything, do you think we would have watched this?
I would have never known about it.
No.
it would have probably slipped away.
I must have missed it on
that
Netflix
interesting?
when it was
But
on the top 10.
like I said in the beginning, when you looked it up, I mean, every article is how since May it's been blowing up social media.
Yeah.
But maybe not my social media. So,
I guess
I didn't hear
I haven't seen it.
and
either.
Kelly loved this movie. By the way, she loved it. She watched it the first time I told her to check it out. She watched it almost straight through and started at like 10 o'clock at night.
Oh my God.
So
Well, that's it. It hooks you.
She'll be back like probably next week, and then
Yeah,
we'll let
she
her have a little little RRR blurb.
Okay.
So if you want a little bit more,
Probably
gonna
talk
check
about it
out-
again.
probably check out the next one. But that's about it. So
All right. Over and out.
Till next time, goodbye.
later.